Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A, where we go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and tech and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just answer it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. You know, I was given these two things before by somebody. Am I going to be okay? Now, these are 3D printed stuff that I've been printing out this week. Cool 3D printer coming, review coming soon. Lots of fun stuff. But yeah, let's get to the news. All right, so some news is disappointing sometimes, and that's what we have here. It is of great sadness, in my opinion, that it's as of right now, it's looking like Samsung will basically not upgrade their main camera sensor on the S22 Ultra. The only difference might be that instead of a 10 megapixel zoom camera, we have 12 megapixel zoom cameras, the 5 times and the 10 times optical. And it would be a more seamless transition when zooming. And that's it. And that's it. That's all that we've heard about this. I do not know why Samsung wouldn't step up their camera game this time around. Like, this Pixel is going to dominate, most likely, the camera scene. And we'll go over the sensor in next. But it's really looking like the Pixel camera is going to be amazing quality. And don't get me wrong, I love my S21. It's amazing to take photos. But I'll tell you right now, the Pixel 5a that I have that I'm testing out right now is better than the Fold 3. And it's at $450. And a lot of it has to do with similar sensors and a much better processing ability. And that is something that I just like, why? If anything, I was expecting actually finally Samsung to step up the ultra wide camera. That is the one that I feel needs the most attention from all manufacturers, because the ultra wide is the most neglected one. But quite honestly, I use it, more than the telephoto. So I hope that is done by the end of next year. But again, this also gives me credence to the fact that the Note will be coming out next year, and it will be better than this camera. Because I have a feeling that if they keep this camera, at least they're planning on keeping it for now, and Google really kills it with the Pixel, I think they're going to be like, okay, we need to have a better camera then by the end of the year, and that should be the Note. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Fun fact, the S22 will get a camera upgrade. So the S22 and the S22 Plus are actually going to get a 50 megapixel sensor instead of the standard 12 they've had for a while now. So that one will actually get a bump up in the actual quality. So if you're going from an S21 or an S20 to an S22 or S22 Plus, you'll actually get a bump up in camera quality. So that is definitely a nice sentiment and definitely is more worth it. So excited to see that, but the one that you're going to be paying the most for, it does not look like it's going to have at least a camera bump upgrade. A camera bump upgrade. It will still have a camera bump, but not a camera bump upgrade. So yeah, that's. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. For me, I was expecting that to be next year to be a big year in camera quality for Samsung. So to hear that they're doing more or less a bare minimum, not the coolest thing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Then we have the first phone images from a phone that will have the same sensor, the same picture, essentially, of the Pixel 6 without Google's processing. So, of course, the thing that makes Google stand out so much next year is that it's basically, oh, it's not going to be, you know, without the sensor. Google's main claim to fame is, of course, its post-processing. So keeping that in mind, these are the images from the Vivo phone that uses the same sensor as the Google one. And this is a really interesting one right here, because this one is showing you the S21 Ultra versus the Vivo, and the Vivo is handheld, whereas this one is with a tripod shot. And the color is definitely better on here. I see a little bit more detail how it can kind of be here, but the color is way better here. And again, this is before Google's image processing, which again, they are the best at. So again, arguably the best camera on Android right now versus the new sensor. The new sensor's already got a leg up on some things. Then again, this is the sensor compared to the S21. So you can kind of see just all these images where the one on the left is the Google sensor and the one on the right is the Samsung sensor. So just kind of seeing, again, I want to reiterate, this is before Google's processing. So if this is a sensor that, remember, the Samsung actually makes the sensor. This also could be the sensor we're getting on the S22 and S22 Plus. So very, very interesting. And again, it even leads more to credence to why isn't this going to be, you know, with a higher pixel sensor on the S22 Ultra. But from what I'm seeing, I'm liking it. Like, again, I cannot stress this enough. This is before Google's image processing. So if this looks that much better before Google's image processing with this sensor, it's interesting. It's interesting. And again, it's really interesting that maybe Samsung should stop using Sony sensors and start using their own. Because this looks like leaps and bounds above the Sony sensor, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, but this gets me excited. Again, there is no phone I am more excited for than the Pixel 6 Pro this year. So I'm so excited. Let me know what you guys think, but for me, this kind of quality, this, you know, skin tone, this low light, it just tells me that the Pixel this year is going to be something special. Something really special. All right. Now, there is another phone that's moving very well as well. And that is the foldable phones. Now, we don't have an exact breakdown, but the foldable phones are doing very well, at least in Korea. They've already sold almost 500,000 there, 450,000 combined. So we don't know what the split is. My guess is, of course, the majority is going to be flips because of the low cost. And you really have to hand it to Samsung in general for that, you know, that it really is doing very well overall because they did the flip at $999. That is really good. Like, that price is so good for a flip phone. The only thing that I will say with the Flip 3 that I am looking at, because I might actually upgrade my mom. My mom currently has an S21. The Flip 3 is basically the same phone with the foldable feature, you know, all that kind of stuff. The only downside is that the battery is smaller compared to her S21. The screen is bigger, you know, you have that kind of higher refresh rate, everything like that. But that is the one thing that I'm very curious about. Now, of course, if I do my videos, you know we're going to get at least 3 to 4 more hours of battery life. So we'll definitely do the videos for the Flip 3 and the Fold 3 for both of those. Make sure to subscribe for that, because especially with the Flip 3, I'm going to have to do every single trick I know to make sure that that phone gets all day battery life. But yeah, so really curious to see how this goes. But as of right now, the estimates are that it could get to cross over 800,000 units by launch. So that's really cool. It's really interesting to see if that does come true. And it's very curious to see how this will affect the Note. Because I truly do believe that it's the Flip 3 that's selling like crazy. I do not believe the Fold 3 is selling like crazy. I also believe that the Fold 3 might have a higher return rate. We'll have to wait and see. But it's really interesting to see how this goes because of that fact. Also interesting is, quite honestly, just how much Samsung will do well with the Fold 3. Because, you know, you have even tech reviewers like MKBHD that said, like, this does not replace the Note because the pen does not feel the same. It doesn't work the same. Now, I have not used the pen yet on the Fold. I am getting mine on Wednesday, so I will be getting it then. And yeah, I will be putting it through its paces for sure. So you can definitely expect that. All right, guys. Now, that is the news today. Not too much, just a little bit of big topics on big products coming up. So now let me know your questions. Start asking your questions in the comment section down below, and I will answer them before the end of the show. Sorry to worry that tonight was canceled. No, I didn't get I usually get the video posted up half an hour before, so you guys know what time it'll be. But today I was running late. Just a long weekend and some real big production videos. You know, I'm doing a 3D printer, which takes a lot to do different kind of shots and panning and everything like that. And then I'm doing a smart home cooking device called the Cooking Pal, which I did need to do some pickup shots. I am switching over my cameras officially to Sony. I think I mentioned that a couple of weeks ago. So this is the new Sony that's going to be my main gun. It's the Sony A7C. Put a cage around it. Got a 16 millimeter 1.4 aperture. So yeah, it's really looks good. Definitely have to get some different kind of lenses. This was my first lens I got. So yeah, just setting up, getting ready to change everything over. So we will have a bump up in quality soon, but definitely need to get some lenses and everything like that. So all of that in the works and all of that coming soon. But yeah, I'm traveling from the US to South America. Would it be best to buy unlock S21 Ultra and get a SIM card from there, or buy a carrier version of the S21 Ultra and use a carrier international plan? I would definitely go with an unlocked phone easily. The reason is because if you get an unlocked phone, it's a lot easier to do whatever. By the way, you can actually take an unlocked phone to a carrier, put a carrier SIM in it, and still be on the carrier international plan. So you can totally do that too. But generally, it's cheaper to get a plan over there. It depends on you know what they support too. Like, not every carrier supports every country. I remember when I did travel to Europe, T-Mobile's changed this plan a lot, but at the time they gave me not calling, but I could get internet every country I was over there. So I would use Hangouts at the time instead of, before there was Allo and Duo for Google. I would use Hangouts, and I would voice call people through it. I would video chat with people through it, and I would instant message people through it to communicate. So as long as I had internet, I could communicate essentially. That is best if you can get an app like Hangouts, WhatsApp, anything that you can use basically data instead of calling through that. That is the best way for sure, to have some kind of instant messenger service, in order to do all of your communication. Just because even if you do get a carrier international plan and or get a plan like a plan with a SIM card over there, the calling and texting is going to be really almost nothing, or cost you a lot basically per minute. So you definitely want to lean towards more data heavy, whichever, if the carriers give you a great plan for South America, then that's great. If they don't, then yeah, just get, literally at the airport, there will be SIM cards there, prepaid SIM cards, so you can use them, get them, insert them, and it'll work. This is the Fold 3 week. It may come early. Yes, like I said, I already looked up. If you do have a FedEx account, you can look in there. They were having issues this morning, actually. I couldn't sign into my own account. They resolved those issues. It had like a top message at the top saying, hey, we're having server issues. Apologize for it. But they're all squared away now, and you can actually log in and see how you're at, basically. So see like what kind of see when you're getting it. Like I said, mine, it shows me getting it on the 20, I want to say it was the 25th, but now I think it was the 24th actually. Let me go ahead and check it out while I have you guys here, just so I can give you heads up on when to expect mine. Now, of course, I will not be able to get it till after work, so whatever day I do get it, I'm actually not going to get it till end of day, basically. But you can better believe that I'll already have an unboxing done that night, for sure. Let me know what you guys think. Should I get a... Let's see. Should I do an unboxing for both devices on the same day if I get it, or should I do separate ones? I usually like to do separate ones just because I feel like that is the best way. But let me know what you guys think. And so here we are in transit. Actually, it's the 24th. 25th is what they have for me to send my trade-in device, because I'll send it after I get it. So the 24th, so Tuesday is actually when I'm scheduled to get it as of right now. Let's hope and see. So the S22 Ultra camera is a bit better or about the same then. Basically the telescope camera will be better, the zoom-in camera will be better, but as of right now, from what the reports are saying, that could always change, but two separate reports have said as of now that the S22 Ultra camera will be the same. I'll have to wait and see, but yeah. Note 22 or nothing for me. I totally understand that, and I'm so with you for that. On the fence about sending my Note 20 Ultra for the Fold 3. After trade-in, etc., great deal, but about $770 after the fact. Just disappointed with the Fold 3 camera. Only thing that has me on the edge. I mean, the thing is to take photos while you have both. I mean, you don't need to send it right away typically. Typically, you have like a week or two to send it. At least for Samsung. I don't know which company you're doing the trade-in with. But yeah, I mean, that's the main thing, is like, see if it's worth it or not. If it is, great. If it's not, then, I mean, that's the biggest thing. Because for me, I'm going to do side-by-side photo comparisons. I really will, definitely the first week, and show you guys the difference. And you guys will tell me if you guys think you really see the difference, you definitely see it clearer, or if like, no, it's fine, it's fine. We will put them side by side and see. Hello, how's it going? Going pretty good. Note coming out next year, some say it's not. So there was this rumor that basically could not be traced back anywhere. So I think it was literally just a rumor from what I could tell. So I didn't really talk about it. But yes, there was a rumor this weekend that basically, oh, the Note isn't coming out for sure now, from this article from Korea that no one can find and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I didn't report on it just because it's, again, I like to have multiple sources or more sources that are reputable. But it does not look like they have any validity to them. Again, DJ Koa at the, I want to say April or May, said that the Note will be coming out next year. I think it's going to be all based on the Fold 3 sales. If the Fold 3 doesn't sell a lot, you're not going to get if the Fold 3 does not sell a lot, the Note is definitely coming. If the Fold 3 sells like crazy and they make about as much money as they would have made with the Note, then you're having an arguable difference. But they would have to sell over 2.5 million Fold 3s to match up about the same pricing of the Note series. I do not think they will sell that many by the end of the year. I honestly don't. I just don't see that happening. I could be wrong. I think they're going to sell a lot of Flip 3s, and they're going to really like that, and that will be a great strategy moving forward. But I do not see us getting that. So yeah. Let's see. On the camera, on the Note, it might be way better than the S22 Ultra. I mean, possibly. If I think the way it's going, right? Samsung made the GN1 sensor at the end of last year as a sample, and then they're ramping it up for production. The first phone just came out with it, and then they're going to, of course, have the big phone that comes out with it be the Google Pixel. That being said, Samsung's image quality that we saw today is better than Sony's, right? Like, it looks better. So because of that, you have to think like that Samsung's going to have another version. They're going to have a GN2. Maybe we get that on the Note. So we'll have to wait and see, but definitely very interesting. I'm a Note enthusiast, but I might try the Pixel. I am really excited for the Pixel, man. Really excited for the Pixel. Now, don't get me wrong. One thing that I will say that I still do not like about Google Pixels is the interface. I much prefer Samsung's. If you watched the Good Luck video I did recently, that is the reason why I just love it so much better. So yeah. Is there a better cell phone keyboard than SwiftKey? Thank you for the great show. Personally, for me, no. I love SwiftKey. Every time I try Samsung's keyboard and Google's Gboard, I always try them, but I never last more than a month. I never last more than a month because I'm just like, why am I doing this? Like, SwiftKey knows my keystrokes way better. They know what I'm trying to type. They're more intelligently designed, in my opinion. It's just better off. Now, don't get me wrong. I will say that I don't believe Microsoft has done a dang thing with it, to be quite honest. That's the only downside, but yeah. Smart cooking device. Yes, I am doing Cooking Pal. It's a really cool device, and definitely for a certain type of person that if you don't know how to cook, if you hate all the hassle that cooking has to do, it definitely simplifies it. Is there going to be a Pixel Fold? We did talk about that, I want to say last week, that there was a little bit more evidence to show that they're at least at some point they were working on a foldable phone. The downside to it is that they were also working on a slider phone. The slider phone isn't happening. Like, nothing has pointed towards that. So then that's the question, what about the foldable phone? Is that something that's coming out this year? Is it something that they're going to push back till next year? We will have to wait and see. But, here's the thing. Samsung is making the Pixel. Samsung is making the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro. They're making the phone. It's not HTC, which they normally did in the past 2 years with the Pixels from Google. So that being said, that is a very interesting ability, because then you're like, okay, if they're making it, then what are we going to do with that then? Like, how is that going to work? So very curious to see how it goes, but yeah, very curious to see how it goes. Is there an app you recommend for editing and printing photos from a cell phone? S10 Plus printer, HP all-in-one. Well, for printing your photos, the best way is just to use the HP plugin. So you can use the HP plugin, download that, and that should allow you to hit the 3 dots at the top of your photo and print. So that's probably the easiest thing for that purpose. In terms of editing, watch my most recent video on the best apps. Depending on what you're editing for, there's a difference. Snapseed is a really good universal one. There's also like the Samsung built-in one. OnePlus has a built-in one that are pretty good and do all your standard stuff. But Snapseed would probably be the one I would kind of go with. And then Photoshop, there's a lot of different versions of it, and they all are done for different things. I think I went more over in Photoshop in the tablet must-have apps, but of course you can use them on your smartphone too. But yeah, so I would either go with Snapseed, or Snapseed, sorry, Snapseed. I always messed that up. Snapseed, or possibly one of the Photoshops, depending on what you want to do. Is there a better... Oh, yeah. Hey, Ricky. Any info on the S21 FE coming out? Last we heard, it will get made, but it just delayed because of all the issues in Vietnam. That is where Samsung makes their A series and S series entry level, like an F21 FE. So last we heard that yes, it is happening, but it's gotten pushed back all the way to November, or possibly even December. So it's not something that's happening anytime soon, which is probably Samsung is upset at. But again, issues and chip shortages are real, so it's definitely going down. But that's why it wasn't announced as well with everything else. Probably separate unboxings. Okay. My Z Fold 3 is still scheduled for August 25th. Working its way through Texas now. Yeah, again, mine says scheduled delivery date 24th by 8 p.m. So hopefully I'll come home from work, see it ready, and unbox it. Best guess for launch for the S22 Ultra. I would say the announcement could still happen at the end of January, or they'll go back to normal, which is the first or second week of February. That is most likely, and then the launch itself will most likely be February either way. Either they announce the first week and then it comes out before the end of the month, or they announce it at the end of January and it still comes out mid-February. So mid to late February is when the launch will be. Did you like SummerSlam, and where did you get the Broken Skull beer? Yeah, so I did like SummerSlam. I did post on Instagram, Twitter, and everything like that I got the Broken Skull beer. Just, again, because my 3D printer has been real fun, I printed out these yesterday for like my little get-together, so I thought it was pretty cool. This one kind of got messed up at the end, but man, this one came out just so good. But yeah, lots of fun with this printer, as you can tell that I'm having. Did I enjoy it? Yes. I thought there was lots of surprises. It was more fun, I feel like, because there was more people there. So we were like, oh, ooh, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, just definitely fun, for sure. A lot of fun. They needed to bring it. They did. They, you know, brought back Becky and Brock. Huge thing for that. Edge was killing it with the Brood theme and everything like that. And it was just good all around. So I thought it was phenomenal. Broken Skull beer, you can, at least by my house, you can get at Bevmo. So that's where I got it, along with the Rocks. I got the Rocks tequila. I got Steve Austin's beer, for wrestling fans. So yeah. Did anyone order the Watch 4? If so, is there any tracking details? I ordered on the 11th, with expedient shipping and the option to cancel the order. Says Friday. So that is the thing, right? I am scheduled to get a delivery on the 24th. It does not say which products I'm getting on the 24th. So we'll have to wait and see, right? Like maybe I'm getting just the phone and not the watch. Maybe I'm getting the cases and the phones come later. I only have one in transit right now, though. So because I only have one, I'm guessing I'm going to get everything together. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe tomorrow, by the end of day, I get another tracking number, and then I'm just like, what am I getting and when? But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I've got two watches. So I got the 4 Classic and the 4. I actually had to do it, by the way, because Samsung does this where they wouldn't let me buy the Fold 3 and the Flip 3 to my house and get all the discounts. So what I had to do was I had to get the Fold 3 sent to my house, and I did the Flip 3 to my mom's house. So I'm like, okay, I need to get everything. So hopefully that'll turn out great, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see. What's up, Ricky? I'm going to trade my Note 20 Ultra, but no 5x zoom, no SD card, no MST Pay, no S Pen, $50, no Bluetooth. Wait, I was going to trade in, and then you were like, none of this stuff. What the heck? No MST though. Which one doesn't have MST? Are you talking about? Because I'm almost positive the S22. I haven't gone out as much, so I haven't used Samsung Pay really this year, I want to say. So that'd be curious. Does the I just have to believe that the S21 Ultra has MST, right? I have to admit that I probably have not used. Does it not have MST? And Samsung Pay. Now I am really curious. Let me go to Samsung's press site. I went to GSM Arena and it does not say they have it, that it has MST. So now let me check Samsung's website. S21 Ultra, tech specs. Okay, it does have MST. Oh, but available in select markets, and select carriers. So maybe not all of them have MST, but yeah. So Samsung S21 Ultra does have MST. But yes, it's a separate S Pen. Everything else is correct though. Great deal for the 512 Fold 3 for $699 with trade-in. I've listed my Note 20 Ultra, but can't give up the other features. No pen inside. The no pen inside is real, man. I will tell you the S21. I have not liked the pen on the side. I'm actually looking forward to having a narrower phone because the phone has been too wide because of the S Pen being on the side. So we'll have to wait and see. Okay. S Pen case reviews have been out. Everyone is saying it's flimsy, cheap, outside of the flip cover that just flops around. Now I feel I wasted my Samsung credit on it. Only S Pen holding case out there. Is that true? So I will say that I have 2 cases already. I have a couple of cases coming that I'm going to be reviewing. So I have some spec cases here for the Fold and the Flip 3. So I'll be testing those out. These are clear ones. So I think that's going to be appealing for a lot of people. Then I have this box I have not opened yet from Ringkey on their cases for these devices as well. and we're gonna get some official Samsung ones too. So I'll be checking out all the cases. You know me, I'm gonna be having the absolute best cases for the Flip 3 and the Fold 3. I'm gonna put it in a video and you guys will see it. So a lot of fun coming with that, and definitely interested to see how that goes. Can you recommend a gaming monitor? 21 plus inches, graphics card is GeForce 1660. What's your price range? I mean, that's gotta be the biggest thing. I don't know every gaming monitor. Obviously, there's so many of them out there. But for me, it's just like, what's on sale? What am I looking for? And I look for brightness, refresh rate, and resolution. With the 1660 GTX, you're probably fine at 1080p. I don't think you're really pushing for 4K. But so I would probably lean towards a 1080p monitor with at least 144 to 240 refresh rate. And then just make sure it has a good peak brightness. That's the main things I would be looking for. Any word on the Tablet 8 and its keyboard? From what I've heard, it is still coming out and we should expect hearing about it during IFA. So let's see, IFA 2020? Or IFA 2020. IFA 2021. Oh, dang, it was officially canceled. I did not hear that they had canceled. When did they announce it? So, yeah, it looks like it is officially canceled. It was, as of May, it was still on, but it looks like they have decided to cancel it. So, we'll have to wait and see now. Typically, that is where Samsung announces tablets. My guess is they're literally just going to drop it. We'll see. Maybe they might drop it around Apple season to kind of take away from their shine a little bit. But yeah, very curious to see. I used SwiftKey for years, but recently tried Samsung keyboard and Good Lock Keys plugin. So far, so good. Getting used to it now. Yeah, and it is definitely something to get used to. Wow, that's some 3D printing. Yeah, no, some really cool 3D printing. I like to see that 3D printer. You got me interested. It is really cool, man. I have shown people. I had like people over for like a housewarming after living here for a year and a half. Finally had my housewarming thing and meeting my son and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just really cool. All the stuff I've been able to like print out and all these like really cool things, you know, and just it's really cool. And just like even toys for him and like all this kind of stuff, those are up there. But yeah, just a lot of fun stuff to print out. And I'm just seeing what else there is online. Like the ones I haven't done are the longest print I think I've done is 7 hours, but there are prints that are like 10 hours, 12 hours. I've seen one over 24 hours. So some prints take a long time, but you can make like whatever. Like it is really cool. And there's this website, I'll go over it in the video, but it's called like, I think Thinkiverse or something like that, that where I'm getting all of these from, and they're all free. That's what's really cool. There are websites where you can pay for, I guess, even more advanced things. But I mean, like the detail work on these ones are really nice in my opinion. Like I have no complaints about it. Like they're down to be really nice and clean lines and everything. So yeah, very, very cool 3D printer. And this is supposed to be one of the best ones too, just because it's enclosed and it just works. Like the leveling, everything just works. So coming from a person that never did 3D printing, never looked into it before, this is awesome. Ricky, why is the Google Pixel camera so good? Why can't Samsung and Apple compete? They have developers and huge amounts of money. Absolutely true. Google is the best at algorithms. That's why. If you want the honest truth, Google, when it comes to algorithms, has over a 10-year head start compared to Apple and Samsung. They're just better at it. So when they take that and use it to photography, it's something that they've done for longer than Apple and Samsung. So on a Samsung or an iPhone now, you can search, and usually as an option, it has people's faces now. So you can find them. They've had that for about 2 years, something like that. Google had it over 5 years ago. This is what I mean. Google's implemented these algorithms to figure things out in terms of being able to search for things and find things, connect the dots for so much longer. So when it comes to figuring out algorithms and computational anything really, Google is just further ahead. What Apple does really well is obviously an ecosystem, right? So they do a very good job in putting everything together. So their processor works so much better with their stuff because they do everything, right? So that's their kind of shine. What Samsung does is they manufacture everything. So they have a better sensor typically than any other manufacturer because they know manufacturing and they know how to work with them. Sony sensors are in both iPhones and Samsung. And Samsung has used their own sensors in the past. Like we used to have it like on the S3 it was a Sony sensor, on the S4 it was a sensor, I think the S5 was a Samsung sensor. And then so like you had different things like that. But that is what happened. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But that's why Google has a head start. To be fair, Apple and Samsung have caught up to the Pixel 5, I would say, for the most part, on their best cameras. However, now Google's going to get a better sensor. So if they're going to get a better sensor, they've used the same sensor for at least 4 years now, the same exact sensor. And now they're going to use a new one. So with this new one, that's why it's expected to be so much better. I just placed separate orders in my name and same address, got all the perks. That's really cool. I tried that, but I don't know. It didn't work, at least for me. Like I got an email basically saying like, hey, we saw that you got two to this address. So we're gonna put one on hold to make sure that you qualify for all of the things. So I got an email, I placed the order, right? And then I got an email after saying no. So then I just canceled that second order and just reordered it on a different account with a different address and everything. I even did a different payment method just in case they would have that. I have US 250, what's a good Bluetooth speaker? For $250, I mean, you can get a lot of good Bluetooth speakers. What is the one I use? I don't even know anymore. I just tested out this LG one. I do not know where it is. That thing was heavy. It was loud, very bass heavy, so not as good in terms of vocals or like instruments, but very bass heavy. So I'm not the biggest fan of that one. Let's go ahead and check it out, right? Let's go ahead. Bluetooth speaker. I just rarely use Bluetooth now, so we'll see. Let's see. JBLs are still really good. You can get the Jbl Charge 5 for $175. Sony's are typically really good. That's a little bit on the higher end of the spectrum for their like nicer one. Um, Marshall, I feel is overpriced because of their name. Don't get me wrong, the sound quality is really good. I got one for my brother for his birthday, and it just looks really good. But the sound quality, I would say, is okay. I mean, he was using it for an office, so it wasn't that big of a deal needed. But yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, looking at the landscape right now, a quick look, obviously. I kind of lean towards the JBL. I mean, let me see. And like the JBL Clip 4 was the one that I just reviewed recently. And I mean, yeah, it's awesome. Like, I mean, I love it. The quality's great. But yeah, so the JBL Flip. Maybe the Charge. So you can get the Flip or the Charge. They even have the Extreme too, but I guess the Charge would probably be the one I would recommend. So go ahead and check this one out. The JBL Charge 4. It's 150 bucks. And yeah, that's a solid one. Never had any issues with it. I think I gave my Charge 3 to my boss because I really wasn't using it anymore, and I wanted something more compact. And I had something. I can't remember what the speaker was. I think it's from the company that also owns Incipio. It was really good speaker quality, and it was smaller, so that's the one I take on trips with me. I just can't think of the name of it right now. So yeah. Let's see. Will the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro use Sony or Samsung sensor in the cameras? Samsung's. It's the GN1. That's Samsung sensor, and that's what we went over earlier today in the second article. Do you know if Samsung will be doing S21 FE? That's the one that I've been waiting for. Yes. So we discussed it a couple weeks ago and earlier today that the S21 FE was delayed because of issues in Vietnam, which is where they manufacture the A series and also the S series, but also the chip shortages caused issues. So because of all of that, they basically said they would have to push back. Originally, it was not going to be coming out at all this year, the S21 FE. That very well still could happen. It could change up. But as of right now, it is coming out, and it's coming out either November or December. So the end of the year, tail end of the year, but it is coming out. JBL is a good one. Yeah, so there you go. Ricky, in the future, do you think Apple could develop its own camera instead of relying on Sony, or is Sony too ahead in this department? They'd be better off buying Sony, at least in Sony's imaging, right? Wouldn't that be something? I mean, if Apple would get into cameras like this, because right? But yeah, no, I don't see them doing it. Because yeah, Sony and Samsung are really far ahead. There isn't really another manufacturer. Toshiba used to make some. Leica, of course, and other ones lend help. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, everyone typically uses Sony sensors. Samsung is the only other one that's kind of there too. But yeah, that's it. Galaxy Watch 4 delivery for me is the 27th, so Friday. Oh, 300 plus for the graphics card. Or sorry, for the gaming monitor. So, gaming monitor. Yeah, see, it just kind of depends on like how much you want to spend a lot of the time. Because you can definitely get a 27-inch, but if you're looking for like maybe a 32-inch to kind of get a little bit of a bigger screen, it really just depends on everything you want. Let's see. Yeah, so 27-inch is going to probably be around the price point you're looking at, from what I'm seeing. So yeah, so here's like a Samsung G3 27-inch, $267, with 144 hertz refresh rate, 1080p display. Awesome quality, right? And then here's an LG 32-inch, 1080p, 165 hertz, so a little bit less in the refresh rate department, but this is a 32-inch, and this is for $250. So those are just kind of some starter points, at least for right now. Again, it would take me longer to go through everything and see, you know, the best of the best and kind of what's really good. But those are just two standouts for me right away. And again, I think with that graphics card, 1080p is fine, but you might want 1440p, and then you have to just kind of look into that. Let's see. Hey Ricky, what the F with WWE's first coffee, then ES? Oh wait, what the F with WWE first coffee, then the EST? I'm not sure what you mean by coffee. Oh wait, was that autocorrect? Was it Kofi? Was it Kofi then the EST? Yeah. Look, honestly, I thought they should have had Carmella in there, do a triple threat, and then Carmella loses, but Bianca stays strong, if that's what you're talking about. But yeah, no, it's definitely messed up. I do like that Becky like did a did a cheap shot, like hit her with the elbow before doing it, so it was more reputable that way. Like she had a like, oh, you caught me off guard for this time, but not forever kind of thing. So yeah, it is what it is in there. I honestly want Naomi. I want Naomi to be with the tribal chief. Can you imagine a Naomi built up to be in the family versus this Becky Lynch right now? As, oh man, that's a up there one. And I think Bianca should go to Raw and kill it over there, to be quite honest. And I think that's what they might do after this. We'll have to wait and see. But I think she should be going Raw after the draft and kill it over there with Charlotte. I think Rhea should go over. Like, they need to basically kind of swap everyone but Becky and Charlotte so that we get some new matches. Fun fact, 51st Date Questions is mythical 8th Dragon Ball. It's functional. Thank you so much, Quiet Storm. And yes, of course, I have to do my shameless plug for the week, and that is 51st Date Questions is the app that I created. If you can download it, it really helps me out. Basically, just download it, play it, have some fun. It is great on a first date or with a significant other that you've been with forever and you want to find out where their head's at. 51st Date Questions is down in the links down below for Android and for iOS. All right. I think Samsung is delivering pre-orders early or got FedEx label today for delivery Thursday. Yes, so if you didn't know, Samsung always delivers pre-orders early with FedEx. They always do. I can't remember when I've gotten a pre-order on launch day, at least for the past 4 years, at least, maybe 5. They've always come on before launch day. That's why I always tell people to pre-order, because you get them early. I got the Charge 4, JBL, one of the best. Yeah, it's a really good one. Hey Ricky, can you recommend a good laptop for my daughter? Wants a MacBook, but I was thinking about getting a 360 HP. What do you recommend? I mean, the 360 HPs are really good. Again, for me, it's always about what's the most important to them. So, is it lightweight, long battery life? You know, do they need how big of a screen? Is 13.3 okay? Is 14? What kind of screen they're looking for? Depending on how old, I don't think you said how old your daughter is. You know, how old they are, that would determine a lot of things too. So yeah, it just all depends on that kind of stuff. Like for mine, I just got, because it was on a really good sale, the Samsung original Chromebook. It was on sale cheaper than the Chromebook 2 about like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. So this one, perfect for mine. Try not to say the word because her room is right there. So yeah, perfect for mine. And this one, you know, is extremely lightweight. It's a 13.3 inch AMOLED display, 8 gigs of RAM, which is good for Chrome OS, not good for Windows. But this fits everything she needs at 10 years old. So yeah, so it depends on age and what they need and everything like that. Chromebooks are typically kindergarten through 8th grade Chromebook. That's it. High school, you can get, you know, Windows, Mac, or Chrome. They all pretty much will work. Although at that point, Windows is the safest. And college definitely depends on your majors for the most part. But again, Windows is the safest because it's compatible with everything. Whereas Chromebooks aren't really good for college at that point, just because there are limitations. And MacBooks are okay depending on what their major is. But again, certain things you just want a Windows computer. I know when I went to college many moons ago, people that had Macs could not log on to the website for our college, and a lot of things like that. So it was definitely issues back then. Obviously, I'm sure they've changed a lot since then, but yeah, that's some of the stuff that I would look out for. Hey Ricky, Watch 4 worth the upgrade from the Watch 3? Absolutely. Again, just because the Watch 3s are not going to be really supported that much anymore, and the Watch 4, everything I've seen of it, except for the battery life granted, is not. The Galaxy Watch 1 was still the best battery life out of any smartwatch from Samsung. The Watch 4, though, definitely looks like an upgrade from the Watch 3. So definitely excited to see that. Watch 4, watch band 20 millimeters, not compatible with 22 of the watch band 2 and 3. Yeah, so you have to be careful on the bands on what the millimeters always are for it, for sure. Yeah, T-Mobile sometimes will deliver up to a week before. Never got Samsung delivered before. I actually have. For the last couple times I've ordered from Samsung directly, and I've always gotten it. Usually I get it the Wednesday before, but I'm hoping I get it on Tuesday. That would be great, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm definitely going to keep looking and keep checking to see what updates there are. All right, guys, I think we're going to be calling it for the day. Hopefully I was able to help you guys out. I know some of you guys had some buying questions. When it's live, I try to do it as quick as I can just because obviously everyone has their own questions, but hopefully that did help you guys out. If you guys always have any questions, feel free to let me know, always in the comments or message me or anything like that. I don't always get to reply to emails and all that kind of stuff or messages on social media, but I always do try. If you show up on Mobile Weekly in the beginning of the episode, you're most likely to get your answer every time. All right, guys, thank you as always for watching. If you do and you can, make sure to give a like, thumbs up, and make sure for all of the Samsung content we have coming out this week, make sure to share it, like it, watch it, because this time more than ever of year helps me out dramatically throughout the holiday season. If the more watches I get right in the beginning, the more it helps me out. So hopefully you guys tune into that and share all the videos that I make. Thank you as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.
Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure to subscribe. was on, so it's me,